I hate to start the stream like this, but a shining beacon of light, of inspiration and motivation has been lost today. My friend and confidant, DreamsInWifi, passed away this afternoon. She will be greatly missed. And this stream is for her. Well, the keyboards are crying, and so am I. The guitar's whining, so am I. It's my best online friend. Laid down for a nap this afternoon and didn't wake up. But it happens. And it happened to a lot more people than just her today. And you know what? We're all here together. And we're all going to make it through together. Because that's what this family's all about. Dreams would have wanted us to all get together and enjoy some Fleischer Forum. Not to be sorry and miss her and lament the loss that we all feel, because we all feel a loss, especially me. Tonight, we're doing this one in memory of Dreams. And we're going to do all of them in memory of Dreams. Because this was her show. I don't know how many times you guys never knew this. But this show has almost ended at least a dozen times. If it weren't for Dreams, this show would not even exist. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for DreamsInWifi, our friend who laid down for a nap and just decided not to wake up anymore. Not by choice, but by force of nature. We're going to spend this evening with our favorite Judge Fleischer. and miss our friend. We're not ever going to stop. And we're not ever going to stop missing our friend. Because somebody like Dreams, you just can't replace a person like that. So ladies and gentlemen, this one's for DreamsInWifi. Thank you for coming out. We'll talk more once the session's over. But for now, we'll turn this camera off and I'm going to keep crying a little bit. And we're all going to reminisce together. I mean, there's that whole thing is, you're going to go, that's the way to go, right? Let's get started.
All right, let's roll, nerds. Are you ready? Jamae, you ready? Okay. Wow, Morgan, no Alex today?
No Alex today, Joe.
Okay.
He has finals on Thursday. Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's studying for his finals.
To be back in school.
He refused. I would know that.
Morgan, you ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, Esparza, page 8, Your Honor.
Marcos Esparza. Mr. Esparza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant's vehicle weaving between lanes and failing to signal a lane change. Officer also checked defendant's license plate, which returned as the vehicle having unconfirmed insurance. Upon contact, officer observed red glossy eyes, slurred speech, and odor of alcoholic beverage. Defendant admitted to having consumed 4 beers. SMSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HDN, 7 out of 8 walk-in turns, 3 out of 4 one-night stand. DOCs were read and breath was refused. A blood warrant was signed and executed. License is eligible. No other DWIs.
All right. Mr. Esparza, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
You have car insurance?
Sure.
Are you sure? You're not allowed to drive unless you have both, and I'm making that a condition of your bond.
Right.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir? How old are you?
34.
All right. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm first going to have you go to Jamae, sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. If you like your license, get on it quick.
Sure.
There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI, so don't sit and wait a month, 2 months, because you're only hurting yourself.
Right.
All right?
Sure.
Please.
Gaskin. Come on up. Page 12, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaskin, you're charged with theft. You're
Sure.
facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 27th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a Five Below and spoke to the complaining witness, the store manager, who stated that while she was helping a customer, she witnessed the defendant enter the store and quickly place many items into his personal bag before walking past all points of sale without paying. She notified the on-site security officer who followed the defendant to a bus stop. Complainant stated the defendant has shoplifted before at that store in the past, and despite verbal trespass warnings, he continued to return. The officer stated that the complainant had observed the defendant board a Metro bus, The officer then flagged down the bus and was able to detain the defendant. The officer brought the defendant back to the scene. The defendant was positively ID'd by the complaining witness and the security guard. The officer searched the defendant's backpack and located the stolen merchandise.
Right. Mr. Gaskin, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. First off, I'm glad that you came. Thank you for coming. Good things happen when you come to court. Number two, they know you at this Five Below. Every single time you go back, they're going to watch you like a hawk because they know you, they watch you. Every time you go back to the store, as soon as you go there, every single eye in the sky is looking directly at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint your lawyer today. Keep coming back and good things will happen. But you have to understand, every time you go to that store, they're going to watch you in every single angle that they can. I'm now, as a condition of your bond, making it so you cannot go back to the store.
Yes, sir.
Do not pick up any new cases. If you need any resources, we can give it to you. All you have to do is ask, but don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jermaine, do you mind reaching out to the MAC for Mr. Gaskin? I'm going to have you sign a reset with Jermaine. I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box. Wait for us and we're going to find you a lawyer. All right? Come on. No going back, please, to the that Five Below.
Rest of the sky. Sign
Stephen, what did you say? Last?
This is Preston Scott, Your Honor, on page 16.
Is it Kosinsky?
Sir.
Mr. Kosinsky, you're charged with forgery of a financial instrument between $100 and $750. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 25th, 2022, the complaining witness stated that his vehicle had been stolen from a Home Depot parking lot, Harris County, Texas. A short time later, the officers recovered the stolen vehicle and the defendant was able to get the vehicle back, but his checks were missing. The officers found that the defendant had attempted to sign and forge the sign and cash the checks, which were stolen from the vehicle in the amount of $190 and $125 dated 9/26/22.
Can I speak? The two checks?
Don't say anything. Did they catch him with the checks on him?
So
Okay. Did maybe I zoned out. I don't know
the
what.
checks had been cashed at a bank.
Okay,
And I guess they were flagged as being
Sure.
fraudulent, and the defendant's signature was on the checks.
how do you know? Do you
The
have any
officer-
kind of visual evidence that he's at the bank, cashing the checks, negotiating the checks? How do you know it's him?
So it looks like the officer that was investigating was able to review surveillance footage from the bank and then
Okay.
compared that to a copy of the defendant's or photo from the defendant's Texas driver's license. And that's how they were able to identify him.
On video, they see him negotiating the checks, signing, giving it to tellers and taking it.
The officer stated in the DIMS that he was able to obtain a photo of the defendant that was taken at the time of the forgery and then use that to compare, he compared the photos from the driver's license.
Okay. What bank is this?
It says Bari Financial Group, BARRI.
Okay. Mr. Kosinsky, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to pick up any new cases, not to have any contact with the complaining witness, and not to go back to this bank. Do you understand? Unless you have an open account in this bank. So what happened with the UUMV? Did they catch it? Was he involved allegedly with the UUMV? We know-
There's no allegation that he was involved with that, Judge. Obviously, there was a UUMB charge filed against this defendant.
Do
But
we have a co-defendant? Do you know?
there's no co-defendant listed, Judge.
So they didn't arrest anyone with regard to the UUMB, I guess.
It doesn't look like it, Judge.
Okay. What do you do for a living, sir?
I sell stuff on Marketplace and Amazon, stuff like that.
I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person in Harris County. And if I have to put you in jail to protect my county, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to get you out, you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with. And I want you to understand, you better have a halo over your head. Do you understand, Mr. Kosinsky?
Right.
All right. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Sure. Is there any way to pay restitution on this?
Let's not just. First things first, let me get you a lawyer and then you'll have you talk to the lawyer and then try to negotiate something with the state. But I don't want you to start saying stuff because, you know, anything you say, they're going to use it against you. So I need you to fill out an application for me though. Do you mind giving me an application? Thanks. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Jermaine and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions though. All right, come on. So Morgan, if you can file all those, please.
Morales?
Did a McCullum check in?
No, Your Honor. I'm waiting for that one. This is Mr. Morales on page 21.
Mr. Morales, you were placed on probation for driving while intoxicated. It has come to my attention that there are allegations that you have since violated that probation. Do you have a lawyer here with you today?
No, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I just started my own landscaping.
Take a seat for me in the jury box. I'll appoint your lawyer today and we'll figure out what's going to happen. And please take a seat for me in the jury box. You're not allowed to leave, sir. Mr. Fontenot was allegedly had alcohol in the car while he was driving, right? Isn't that?
Yes.
How has it been not driving in Houston?
Been pretty difficult.
Wonderful. That makes me very happy. Because I would figure that it's elementary that you know that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. I would think that a third grader understands that notion. And what I want you to understand and take away from this is that it is an absolute privilege to drive. It's not a right. You have no right to drive. If you want to take anywhere, you got one right. Take the Dodge Patas and you can walk your happy ass from point A to point B. But driving is a privilege. And it is a sacred privilege that we take serious because every day in our county, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. It is a disgusting and sick statistic. And I, for the short time that we're going to be here, want to try to impart to every single person that it has to change. And it's not hard. It's really easy. And I did this in the hopes that you understand how great of a privilege it is. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me what you're doing now.
So I get back and forth from work. I've been riding with coworkers and I've been having my parents take me when they can. And the occasional Uber when no one can get me. But if I had to Uber every day, it'd be.
Mr. Trent tells me that I guess your mother has gone ill as well.
Yes, sir.
And has that been added an issue that's now?
Yes, sir. Because she can't drive now, so. And it's just my dad, and he works a few days a week, has to go to the office, so. And I'm limited with that, so.
I want you to understand that I will allow you to drive now. But if I find that you're consuming alcohol, if I find that you have any more issues like this, then I'm going to take it away from you. And we're not going to play this game again. You get one crack at the whip, and I really want you to understand that, driving, it's really hard in this, where we live here, as big as Houston is, to thrive without the ability to drive. I'm not asking much. All I'm asking you to do is one simple thing. Number one, don't drink. If you are, just don't get into a car. And for Pete's sake, don't have it in the car while you are driving. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, now as it stands now, you're still not allowed to drink while you're on bond in this case. If you do, I have one place for you. So just listen to Mike. He'll take care of you well. I'll give you back your ability to drive now, but I don't want any more issues. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, make me proud. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, Mike, we'll take off. Yeah, just do what you need to do, your normal reset date, and then we'll make a notation. Hey, of course.
Good morning, Attorney Eric Rhodes here on behalf of Kareem Williams.
I have Ricardo represents him.
Yes, Your Honor, a couple of days ago, motion to substitute counsel.
Okay,
We speak with Attorney Ricardo. He is in agreement with this, and the motion was filed with court.
okay. I'll sign it for you, but the case is 2010 days old. It's time to,
Absolutely, Your Honor. I've been on it for a couple of days, just need the opportunity to go through the discovery. I did have an opportunity to speak with the ADA.
I think that it was set to resolve today. Supposed to resolve today. Is he here?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that's why we had told him, hey, get ready. It's time. It's been,
We have just a very brief reset, even if it's for the end of the week on this matter.
Hi,
Hi.
sorry.
this is Kareem Williams.
Okay, I spoke to you about.
Yes.
So do you have an offer on this case? Because today was plea or trial in this case.
I'm just pulling it up, Judge.
Sure, take your time.
It was a DWI, Judge. I'm not sure if council has applied for mitigation.
Oh,
or anything.
no, the case is 5 years old.
Okay.
Today's the same day set for plea or trial.
Okay, Judge. I'll put in I can put in an offer for jail time and that.
Whatever you guys want. If you're offering a probation, if you want to offer jail, whatever you want, but I mean,
I can talk to council about
Okay.
it and then if need be. we
I'll
can
give you till Monday,
Okay.
but on that day, I'm sending for bond forfeiture and it's 100% plea or trial on that day.
I understand, Your Honor.
So I'm not giving them a lot of time if we set up a trial. I'm going to give you a 10-day trial setting because it's as old as it is. As a courtesy to you
I appreciate that.
for CYA purposes to Monday, but that's it. He's got to be here and ready to accept the plea bargain or we set it. Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
We'll discuss it at the bench, Judge.
Sure.
See what his client wants to do.
Okay, all right. SFBF, please. Hey, ready? Sure. Oh, Mr. Roberto Castro. John, I don't think, I mean, I'm not going to continue to play this game with you. Mr. Castro, I'm not doing this again.
Sorry.
Look at me.
Sorry.
I have people that continue to come back over and over and over and
Sorry.
I want you to look at me because this is going to be a life-changing moment for you right now. They keep coming back. They keep pleading guilty. They keep coming back. They keep pleading guilty. And it's a revolving door. The door stops today. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable
Sir.
to not pick up cases, then we are going to delve deep next time as to why it continues to happen. If that means putting you in a rehab facility, in a dual diagnosis residential facility for figuring out mentally why these things keep happening, then so be it. The door stops today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you understand, Mr. Castro? I know you well. And in the last 2 to 3 years, we're working at least since you and I have been together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stops today. If you are unable to exercise self-control, we are going to dance a lot together next time. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hear me loud and hear me clear, Mr. Castro, because I'm not doing this again.
Yes, sir.
We will have issues next time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I do. Yes.
You now stand charged with theft. How many is this anyways? Is the next one a felony regardless?
I don't believe so, Judge,
We just need
actually.
part tests, Judge.
You run an NCIC for me, please, Morgan. Let's take a look to see. I want to advise him properly as to, you need to understand that every time you plead guilty to an offense, it goes on your record.
Yes, sir.
And when you pick up a certain type of offense consecutively and times, they can put it together and they can file a felony case on you, and you're looking at years instead of days. You now stand charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. They've offered you 6 days in jail credit for the 2. Any prior thefts, Morgan?
No, Judge, I'm not seeing any.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement.
Yes, sir.
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Mr. Castro,
Yes, sir.
I want the best thing for you, but it continues to happen. So somehow we're not getting through to you. And we need to get through to you so that you understand it's not okay to continue to pick up criminal cases. And in the few short years you and I have been together, we're now working 12 cases. This is not acceptable. What do we need to do to get it to stop?
Yes. That's- But yes,
Shh.
I'm completely capable of these, and because it is so highly agreeable, so I'm on top of it myself as much as I would be able to. This place, it is interestingly confusing, but yes.
Well, let me tell you something. I have a couple people in here that have continued to come back. And what we have done is now have them in facilities trying to figure out why they cannot stop picking up criminal cases. I'm telling you, I've got probably about 4 or 5 individuals that have kept with me. You now are on my list. So heed this warning.
Yes.
Do you understand, Mr. Castro? How do you plead to the offense of theft? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
And we'll find you guilty. I will sentence you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. All right, Josh. Hi, Sam. Hey, good morning.
You're on Demarcus Williams. I don't think we'll need Demarcus Williams. I don't think we'll need anything.
Okay.
So if you remember on Demarcus, he's got the MAJ set for January. So last time we came in, I think.
Just for not to do a long reset, right? Yeah.
So I think we were just coming in to,
Any new news?
the offer was 10. I think the offer is still 10. I think that there's discussion that's happening. So
Ziegler, what say you? Are they, what if anything are they doing upstairs? Have they done anything? Are they still going to go forward?
Williams.
Demarcus Williams. We've had quite the issues with him, and I tell you, he looks like he's 12. And it's, yeah, look, I mean, look at everything that's open. It's set for a motion to adjudicate upstairs because he's on probation for an ag rob and then all these other cases. So
The ag rob and then the organized criminal activity. And then I think they amended the MAJ to include all of the new misdemeanor charges.
the idea is that if something happens upstairs, it kills everything all at once. The problem is when, because we've been eternally waiting for everything to happen.
Right, so the next setting is December 20th for the abating, the theft. And then.
I think that's just, I don't know, I wonder why. But so ours, though, they're going through the MHA hearing though, is that right?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Offer still 10 years? Okay, so when is it? January,
I mean, if we could get early January, well, let me see.
yeah,
where-
Sam, you want to set it for the day after? But look, I gotta, if they don't do anything that
Oh, I
day,
understand.
Sam, it's,
I know you had said that last time, so I'm just kind of waiting on January 16th
I'm
to see what.
happy
they
to
do.
give you the courtesy wait. But at that point, if they try to punt it down the road for like March or something, I'm not,
Then we'll
Yeah.
go ahead.
we'll have to figure something.
I got it. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you very much.
what's up?
Yeah, we'd like to get, had an opportunity to discuss this matter with Attorney Ziegler. We would like to get a TRAS done on Mr. Williams. I think that we're pretty close to getting it worked out. I know, and I heard it loud and clear.
I'm not, it's, the case is 5 years old. He's been MIA for that long, you know, it's. How's that fair for everyone else you know?
Yeah, I completely understand. Obviously, I've been on the case for about 72 hours at this juncture. I just think in the interest of justice, given what the facts are on this matter, I think there are a lot of mitigating factors in this case that possibly may not necessarily result in a dismissal of the case, Your Honor, but definitely can work in the interest of justice, given the actual facts. It is unfortunate that this case has been floating around for 4.5, 5 years now, but I am.
It's him. And it's refusal to come and do what he's supposed to do. Have you run an NCIC to see how he's behaved while he's been on bond for this case as well? Has he picked up other new cases as well? Does he have any other DWIs? You know, but he's been MIA for 5 years. That's just.
And at this time, this was the one where I was mentioning those hospital records, and for some reason we hadn't, for all these years, filed a protective order to share those with them, so I was trying to do that and give them a second.
Yeah, I'm happy to sign it and give this up, but I mean, for me to give him more time to get ready for, to work a dismissal when he's been gone for 5 years and now he wants more time? Really? I want more hair. Am I gonna get it? I mean, what other, has he picked up any other cases while he's been?
Some home improvement fraud felonies from October of this year, unknown disposition.
He's on bond for felonies now?
Your Honor, just by way of clarification, these are some out-of-state matters. Obviously, this is not the time or space to get into the details of that, but suffice to say, I'm pretty certain those matters are going to be dismissed. Louisiana has some very different rules on just.
What is his name again?
Kareem Williams.
Come up, Mr. Williams.
Gustavo Luis.
You're on bond for this DWI. You've been on bond since 2019, and now you've picked up a couple felonies out of state. I don't want you to talk about the case. My only concern is while you're on bond in this case, you're supposed to behave yourself. You're not supposed to pick up any new cases, and you've picked up a couple felonies out of another state. Are we supposed to reward you for picking up new cases? What else has he done, Ms. Ziegler, since 2019? Two cases, one case?
I believe it was just one case from October.
Why should I not revoke his bond and put him in jail now? He's on bond for this case. He's been on bond and he now picked up a felony in another state.
And I do understand that, Your Honor. I think that just in the interest of justice, I think that given the facts, and obviously we're not here to discuss what's going on in Louisiana.
Are you representing him in Louisiana?
I'm not, no, Your Honor, I'm not representing him in Louisiana, but obviously I'm in contact with counsel there. I think without getting into the details of that, Your Honor, I think it's an extraordinarily interesting law that they have, or laws that they have in Louisiana, where what we would consider as a technical civil dispute somehow gets transformed into a criminal matter in Louisiana. Obviously, the French civil law, I don't even attempt to try to understand those rules, but it is more of a civil dispute more than some type of fraud that was taking place in this situation. I think we're very optimistic that that's going to get resolved. Obviously, I've just been on this matter, Your Honor, focusing in on the CWI matter, Your Honor. It was, yes, it was a crash, but the facts as set forth in the incident report, Your Honor, he did not collide with another vehicle. He didn't hit a pole. He didn't hit a tree. Instead, based upon the report, he swerved to avoid another car coming out of a private driveway. So to avoid from hitting that vehicle, he swerved, hit a curb, which resulted in blowing out the tire on his vehicle. The car had other people in the car, and obviously that creates some issues, as Your Honor could imagine. But this was not a DWI case where he's driving down the road 60 miles an hour and crashes into someone or anything in that realm, Your Honor. For those reasons, I think in the interest of justice, having him to go to jail, not that that's what's on the table right now, but having
It is on the table now because he picked up a felony case while he's on bond for a case, right? He's been MIA for 5 years, and now you want some kind of in the interest of justice. The interest of justice is that we protect our county. You're on bond for this case. You've been on bond for 5 years. You've been gone. Now you pick up a felony case. Are we supposed to pat you on the back? No, I'm revoking your bond. I'm taking you into custody. What are we supposed to do? You know, you can't just be gone and then you pick up a felony case in another state. I mean, what are we supposed to do? You know? Really? But you have to understand that actions have consequences, right? You're an adult. Your failure to act, your failure to come, you're picking up a new case. Now, I know that you say it's a civil dispute, but they found enough probable cause and a grand jury indicted you. That's usually between 9 to 12 people that sit, have completely neutral and detached, sit, listen to facts and determine, hey, we think this person may have committed a felony offense.
Original arrest warrant, and it's still, the DA still hasn't accepted charges.
and Your Honor, again, not getting into the details, and it's not, we're not here to try to resolve the Louisiana.
I get it. but
I'm sorry.
go
No,
ahead.
Your Honor, and I'm just, let me suggest here, Your Honor. What happens in Louisiana is this. There is a civil dispute between the parties, what we would call a civil dispute. And as a result, in Texas, what we would do in the event if a contractor or subcontractor is not paid, we place a lien on someone's property. In Louisiana, if that same transaction happens, the homeowner, now obviously there would be consequences, there may be consequences for that homeowner, can call the DA and say, no, this guy ripped me off. Notwithstanding the fact they owe him money, this guy ripped me off. And if the DA there,
Because I've had two people that have done that to me.
well, Your Honor, over there, Your Honor, over there, that it turns into a criminal matter. So again, we think it's going to get wiped away. I know we are this close to getting this matter resolved. And I think in all respect to the court, all respect to the bench, Your Honor, not being here for 5 years is a major issue. This matter should have been resolved a long time ago. Had I been brought in 6 months ago, it would have been resolved 6 months ago, Your Honor. We're just asking that, one, if there could be a level of grace and mercy extended to Mr. Williams at this today, I think we could get the matter resolved today, Your Honor. Obviously, I haven't had an opportunity to look at the medical records. I haven't had an opportunity. I haven't had more than 30 minutes to even examine the record.
And you know, I'm sorry that you're being placed into this precarious position now. And the facts are what they are, right? If we could make our own facts, we would all win. But at times, the bill comes due. That is today. But if you think that you can just continue to get away, jump 5 years, come back, and while you're out there, you pick up a felony case as well. I can't because I would be telling you that that behavior is okay, and it's not. If you guys are able to, you know, work something out, by all means, I'm okay with that. But I can't in good conscience when he's been gone for 5 years. He picked up a felony, whether it's in Abu Dhabi, whether it's in Alabama, Oklahoma, you know, he's hopscotching states, you know, but he goes with you. If you want to work something out, I'm happy to whatever you guys want to do, but it's only fair, you know, it really. But like I said, if you guys work something out, I'm happy to entertain whatever you guys want to do. But you guys talk, don't
Understand.
not here. He's gonna take him back. I'm gonna let you guys talk, see what you want to do. I'm all ears. I'm always open to anything else, but the bill comes due. All right. Take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah, that probation is what I'm thinking right now, but we can talk more.
Like, I don't even have.
Good morning, Your
Hi,
Honor.
guys. How are you?
Good, how are you? We're approaching on Madison, Richard Lane.
No, I'm sorry. Like, if it's-
Oh, I see. Okay.
We're requesting to get a reduction.
Holy moly. Is he okay?
Okay, now.
What happened? Did he get in a fight with,
I saw it. I think it's really possible to come. I'm not sure.
they sent him to medical? Okay. What would you guys like?
We're just requesting on this misdemeanor, if we can get a reduction in the bond amount he currently has a $10,000 bond on his felony case that is pending right now. So we are requesting if we can possibly just get the bond on this misdemeanor reduced. He is homeless right now, and possibly if the bond could get reduced, maybe a family member can help him and post bond for him for this.
Problem is he doesn't come back. You know, he doesn't come back. We give him a PR bond. We've given him 2 PR bonds. He's out there, he doesn't come back, and he picks up a felony, right? What happened with the felony? Because I don't even know.
Let's see, Judge. So it looks like an officer was conducting an arrest warrant at JPC, and during the booking process, the officer located 0.059 grams of meth in plastic packaging. Meth was located during a strip search, and defendant was attempted to conceal it under his foot.
What is your position as far as the bond reduction?
I'm gonna oppose any reduction, Judge. As you said, this defendant takes off. He has extensive criminal history. He's obviously still has drugs and is picking up new felonies.
I mean, I'll give you $1,000, you know, go to 4,002. It's at 5,002 now. I'll give 4,002, but you know, I have a real fear that if he gets out, he's just not gonna come back. And I mean, if he's able to bond out, I'm gonna, put a GPS monitor on him, but yeah, I mean, I'll give you 1,000 off. And then I guess just whatever, do you want to wait out the felony, I guess?
We counseled him and told him mission please. He won't be going anywhere.
Right.
The felony, however, we're trying to set up a plea.
Oh my God, it's set for January too.
Yes.
Oh,
So he wants the plea, but we're trying to set that up with the state. So we're gonna roll him until Monday. If that's
Okay.
all right.
yeah, whatever you need, Alan. I mean, it's up to you, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so can you do, please, Madison, reduced to 4,001? Okay. Okay, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right. Aaron, I don't know, you filed a motion to recuse on the McCauley case. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it on your radar.
Let's just go ahead. I mean, if you got it, just file it.
Okay.
Why you're not gonna hurt my feelings. If you want to recuse me from the case, I'm okay with that. Really, if you want to go to another judge, go to another judge.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
Okay, cool.
So,
So would we need a full-blown hearing on it, or would you voluntarily recuse? I don't know.
no, because, I didn't, every time that we've tried to have a conversation, I've stopped it and I called you to try to get you into the conversation. I don't do ex parte stuff. I have nothing to hide. I want to do everything on the up and up. So, I mean, I haven't done anything wrong. So you'll just have to go to Susan Brown and do whatever you guys need to do.
For now, I'll get it sworn to and I'll make sure it's properly filed.
The interim, though, I don't know because.
Yeah, he's still on your docket and we're here.
Well,
And we discussed.
Shh. I think we have a real safety issue because
And I can appreciate that.
I think that, recall. So if you can give me a second, I send a message to see when a recusal is filed, can I still, because I don't know if that stops all the proceedings and it goes to the administrative judge to have the hearing or not. So give me like 10 minutes and then I'll come back and then I'll give you an answer.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. No, just the GPS monitor. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Aaron, there's something else I needed to talk to you about.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Messina was here yesterday.
Correct.
Do you represent him on the
AFM and you picked up a VPO.
AFM, BPO, and you pick up the injury to child? Melissa yesterday noticed, because she was looking through the VPO, found in the AFM, the MOAP had been amended in August of 22.
Okay.
So for some reason, I don't know what, I don't know how, but I don't know if it didn't get amended with pretrial services as well. But I don't know if he was on bond for, with,
He
or
actually
if he
wasn't
was even being
violated.
supervised.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they filed a VPO based on going back to that house, but I had let him go back to that. I found no PC yesterday. I found no PC on the VPO because I don't think that it was right.
Okay, appreciate that.
He's still in custody, obviously, because of the felony. He picked up the felony, the injury, and so we're still here on our assault. He still has the injury. So for what it's worth, the other thing also is that when you file the competency,
Yes, I spoke to Melissa. I filed it under the new VPO, but I just refiled it under the AFM.
are you okay if we scratch out and put the new?
Yeah, I just scratched.
Did it?
Yeah, I scratched.
Okay, because I want to make sure that it's like done the right way, that we don't, so, okay.
I did lazy on that one. I scratched it.
All right, we're good?
Well, we're good, Judge. All right, thank you.
Judge, are we coming back? Are we circling back to McCauley?
Yeah, because once someone files a recusal, I think that,
And once again, Judge, it hasn't formally been filed yet.
I would ask her.
I just
I
probably.
mean, if you're gonna file it, just, really, I mean, like I said, we briefly started to
Okay.
yesterday, and I said, look, let me get Aaron on the phone, and that's why I called you. The idea is, and from what I understand, they're saying he's been making threats using the phone system to get the CW to drop the case. And the scary thing is that the father who's on bond for murder is allegedly also making threats. And when I asked them today, I said, look, I don't want to do anything, and I'm not going to put him in ag seg unless you can show me that he's actually made threats, because I don't want to, when you put someone in ag seg, you literally lock them in a one-person room
Right.
by themselves 23 hours a day for 7 days a week. They don't have access to anything.
Right.
That is
That's about as.
it's a death sentence, you know what I mean? So, because that's the only way that we can prevent someone from making phone calls.
So Judge, I was not really exploring that route yet. I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
We can admonish him and tell him to stop. And then if it continues, at that point, we use it as,
I also would like to get a MOAB, Judge. Our investigator put in the request for the jail calls, so we should have those soon. I'll follow up with her
oh, so
today.
you don't have any, you don't have it.
I don't have.
Because I know that
jail.
it takes a little bit to.
I think she'd be able to get them pretty quickly. I don't think it would take that long. I've never done it before, but I spoke to her yesterday about it, and she said she can get them.
Aaron, can we admonish real quick?
Yes, we can admonish, Judge, and if that's all was said, then we're good. I mean, I've known you for a long time.
I'm not doing anything, and I don't want to do anything, like I said yesterday, until, do you mind grabbing my phone?
And that's why I didn't follow. I've known you a long time, Judge. I wanted to talk to you before we go down that route.
I want to do everything on the up and up, and I never am going to hold someone accountable unless I know 100% that they're really effing up,
Understood.
especially given that we've done this one time before.
Okay.
And the guy was miserable, because it's a miserable situation, right? And perhaps this is enough.
That's how you turn into the Joker. I mean,
So,
Right, you're right. I mean, it's when you have too much time by yourself.
yeah, well, the state would ask that he not even have a bond, amount, we would ask that he stay in jail right now for security reasons, for the complainant's security, because she is scared of him. She has told me that he
Hold
has.
on. Wait till he gets,
Okay, yes, Judge.
he needs to hear all this as well. Aaron, do you want a chance to speak to him first?
yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so. Hi.
Just wait till that prosecutor.
Okay,
Thank you.
of course. I guess hold off on the motion. To accuse. Don't vote. Hey, we have a BVR.
Yes,
That's
yes,
several.
several. Oh, I only saw one on the report, but,
I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll call you, but what's going on?
I'm trying to contact him right now to see about those BVRs, Judge. And I think, okay.
Who do you want to talk to?
Calvin Douglas?
Okay.
Is that who we're on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't like seeing that, Judge, but we will address that. But I'm here today because this is our compliance setting, our 4th discovery setting on this officer that we're state's trying to get a hold of, that we're trying to get
Okay.
in
Done.
DT.
Yeah, it's done. No more.
So
You can't get it and you can't get a hold of the officer.
can we, if we go forward to trial situation, can we request that witness be struck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done.
That's all we want.
Yeah, that's it.
Your Honor.
All right. All right, JP. So Friday,
I'll have him-
homeboy. Okay. I need your cell phone.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you mind? Can you please, so I can start texting you? All right. Good morning, Mr. McCauley.
Hey, sir.
How are you? Shh. So I have you out here because I have a couple things that have been brought to my attention that are quite concerning. I'm not asking you to say anything. I don't want you to say anything, but I want to put something on your radar. I want to do everything in my power to protect my city, my public, and I'm going to do it in every way that I can. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But from what I understand, state is telling me that you have been allegedly making phone calls or threatening the complaining witness. In this case, you're charged with terroristic threat. And I want you to understand that it's a no, don't. I'm not asking much from you. All I'm asking you to do is don't contact this witness. Don't use anyone else to contact this witness. Don't make any threats. I had someone in this very situation not too long ago. I found that they continued to make threats and I put them in ag seg. I put them in separation. They literally sit in one room for 23 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they get 1 hour to go out. I don't want to have to do this to you, but if I find that you're threatening the witness in this case, I'm going to have to take drastic measure. And that includes putting you in ag seg. That means they take you out of Gen Pop, put you in this thing, and you're stuck there indefinitely until, I guess, either the case is resolved one way or the other. I also understand that your father is also allegedly as well. He's on bond for murder from what I hear. And if they go up there and they start hooting and hollering up there with the felony judge, it's very possible that they take action as well. Just don't. Life is way too short to spend the next years inside a 6x9 box. It's not worth it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Don't make any phone calls. Don't use anyone else. All I'm asking you to do is just don't. You know, if they, from this day forth, if I find that it happens, I will have a hearing to hold you in ag sec. You have to understand every phone call that is made, any correspondence that is sent, it's all recorded for the entire world to see. There are eyes and ears everywhere. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you want to add anything?
Yes, Judge. So I've been in contact with the complainant. She has told me that in the past, she has gone to the hospital because of him because he's been physically abusive to her. She thought that he was capable of acting on his threat had the police not arrived when they did. The first time I made contact with her, she told me that she had wanted the case to be dropped. And then the next day she called me again and said that the defendant, the witness on the case, who is the defendant's friend, basically ensured that that's what she had told me, that she had wanted the case dropped. And so they have been making contact with her, Judge, the defendant, the friend, and the defendant's father. The complainant is in fear for her life. She feels like she's being harassed and threatened. He has been in communication with her since being in jail. She has blocked the jail calls.
now. I advised her to file police reports so that we can get all this on paper because, for defense, defense has certain rights as well, Judge. And so, we want to do this formally. I would ask that given the egregiousness of all this and due to the genuine safety concerns that the complainant has, I would ask the defendant not be released from custody.
So from what I see now, and I'm gonna, here, you respond, please.
If I will, Your Honor, right now, he's still currently on bond in this case. And at this point, we have been given no notice of what the actual allegations are. We haven't seen a bond revocation report. We have yet to see any evidence of this other than hearsay from a party that has yet to come to testify to give her own testimony. I believe right now, a revocation of bond is improper.
He's right. I know that you're standing up for the complaining witness in this case. I understand. But I have to see, right? And number one, has there been a no contact that's been entered in this case anyways?
There were bond conditions. In the bond conditions, he was supposed to have no contact.
Okay.
But we need a MOA, Judge. There's no MOA in place.
I will grant the order for protection now.
And I've spoken to my client. We're in agreement to that.
So
That's fine.
just, you're on notice. Eyes, ears everywhere. This is what we do. I don't want to have to do anything to you. I don't want to have to put you in seg. So please just don't. And just like I said, life is not worth spending the next couple of years in a box. So you're on bond in this case. I'm not going to revoke your bond now because they've not shown me anything that you have violated other than words. Okay. If they show me something, that's different. I'm going to enter in this order for protection now that prohibits you from having contact with her. So don't use anyone else. You understand, Mr. McCauley?
Yes, sir.
So this order for protection now,
It was signed on 11/7.
I know I'm granting a new one so that it extends it for another 61 days. So that Ms. DeVoe is now a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. Understand, if you continue, it's very possible they file stalking charges on you as well, right? There's a multitude of other charges that can be facing if it continues. You cannot communicate with this person indirectly or in an indirect manner. You cannot use another person to try to communicate with this person. You cannot be in possession of a weapon, go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Just don't communicate. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to have you sign this order for protection.
I have a question, Judge, before we, is there a way to attach the father to it as well so that he doesn't have contact or no? I didn't think there was, I just wanted.
So what I had advised and the appropriate way would be go to the felony court, apprise them of what is going on. They can take the measures if they deem appropriate, how to do that. But you need more than just the words, right?
So we should have the jail calls soon, according to my investigator. I spoke to her about it yesterday. Did you want to set it?
So I would like to, at the minimum though, given the benefit of the doubt, because I've not spoken to him, to let him know the consequence of trying to communicate with her. You're on notice now. They want me to put you in separation now. I'm not going to do it. But if after today, December 4th, 2024, if I find that it continues.
Order in the court.
Okay. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt now, but it's not going to happen again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We good?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Life's not worth a 6x9 box. There's so many other fish in the sea. This is not your problem. You're on probation. That's what's holding you. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Really?
I understand.
Okay.
And at this point, Judge, I believe the only thing I have, at least when I looked yesterday, visible to me is an OR. Can we get a regular reset on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like the felony is set for January 22nd. Whatever you want, it's yours, whatever you need. Yeah. All right, Mr. McCauley, we need you to sign the MOA and then good luck, okay? All right. Yes, sir.
Judge, we're approaching on Zandre Smith. He was in custody and you required him to get another TRAS done I think it was last week, Judge. He bonded out November 28th. He's here in the audience. If you want to have him,
I'm gonna send him now, or did we get it done?
we got the TRAS done.
Okay.
Do you want to have him come up, Judge?
Please.
Mr. Smith, come around this way.
This is the person that responded on probation back in 2022, who picked up an assault family member in October of 2022. He ends up responding, and then he picks.
He picked up a new case?
Yes, Judge.
He just picked up a new case, another new case.
Well, no, Judge, we knew about that case when we were before you last week.
And the CRS recommended thinking for a change.
Okay. Really? Okay, I want to do it. No drugs, no alcohol. I'm telling you, you pick up a new case, I'm gonna lose it. I'm seriously gonna lose it. What happens if we lose it here? At your bond right now is at 7503. At some point, someone's gonna stop ponying the money for you, man. You gotta realize this. So, no weapons, no contact with the complaining witnesses. Yeah. And then what happened with the trespass? Where was that?
I think it was a trespass of a vehicle. Yeah, trespass of a motor vehicle.
Say it again?
Passenger in a stolen vehicle.
Oh, right. All right, so no contact. Did that person get arrested?
I believe so.
So no contact with the complaining witness, and then no new law violations. And what are you doing with yourself these days, Mr. Smith?
I work at a car shop. Pain and body.
Don't use. I'm going to test you. If I find that you're using, guess what? Right. Like to send it for a drug test right now as well. Okay, so, well, I'm gonna alter amend, add thinking for a change. No drugs, no alcohol. I'm gonna test you today.
Have him report back to court, Judge, after his drug test?
Yeah, well, it's 11 o'clock. Let's set it for later this week.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and then if he tests positive, I want to know. And then I'm gonna give him, if he tests positive for something, I'm gonna give him time to clean out the 45 days. And if he's not, then you know how it goes. That's it.
So do you want to roll to tomorrow, Judge?
No, just give a couple days because I don't want him to lose a job or anything.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Or early next week, but I want to send him now. Okay. Hi.
Judge.
Good morning.
I'm McCullum. Judge, I'd like to challenge PC on this new charge.
Okay.
What's the name? Sorry.
McCullum.
McCullum.
You want him out, Your Honor?
Sure.
McCullum with an M.
Do you, what was that movie? You know what I'm talking about?
Die Hard.
No, it was, McCauley.
Oh.
That's it. Braveheart.
Yeah.
McCulloch. Good job, Sam. Have you heard it yet?
What?
Have you heard it yet? PC or no?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've read it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know whether you've read it or not. Okay. All right, Mr. McCollum, good morning, sir. Number one, don't email me. That's not a good thing, man. Really, because I'm supposed to be neutral, detached. So I don't know what happens until if it goes to trial. So just, it's okay. But just from now on, all right. So you now stand charged. You picked up a terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. You cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. I don't know what happened in this case. I'm just now seeing it for a first time. All I know is that you're on bond for this case, for another case, and now you picked up a new one. So let's go forward and
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness showed officers text messages ranging from May 2024 to November 2024, where the defendant sent her photos of guns and threatened to shoot the complaining witness and their child. Defendant also stated he would shoot up her house and hoped that he would hit her and the child.
when is the statement that he was going to shoot up the house? Was that from May and that he's just investigating this? Because that's not a terroristic threat. But if it was an active thing where he was,
Well, it looks like the offense, so per the offense report, the actual offense took place on November 8th.
okay,
But I believe that she showed them old text messages.
okay, so when was that statement that I'm gonna shoot up the house and yada, yada, yada? Sure, take your time.
And Judge, while they're looking, it's not alleged when the statement was. And not only that, it's not reported till 3 days later. Furthermore, in the reviewing the text messages that have been submitted, there's not a single text message that has that specific threat in it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's the state's burden to show, I don't know, but terroristic threat has to be an immediate fear of harm.
So I don't see an actual date in the offense report. I personally have not reviewed the text messages in this case, Judge. I don't see a date of the actual threat.
That's not a good thing. I mean, who knows when that statement was made? Could have been made 2 years ago, could have been made yesterday. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, if you don't have anything else, then that's it. Okay, I'm gonna find no probable cause. Mr. McCullum, we're not asking much, man. We want our streets to be safe. I'm gonna do everything in my power to protect the streets, right? If I find that you're a problem, if they call back and it continues to happen, it's not gonna go well. Life is way too short to live in a 6x9 box. There are a lot of great people in life. There's a lot of bad people in life. And if you have a relationship with a so-called person that brings out the worst in you, then don't have a relationship with this person. There's a gajillion and one fish in the sea. It's not worth it to have someone rap you so bad that you make and say things that make you go to jail. It's not worth it. Do you understand? Now, don't have contact with this person because it's just not going to end well. All right. All right. So I'm going to continue bond. I'm not going to revoke your bond on this case now because I'm finding no probable cause, but just behave. It's not hard. Be nice. All right. Okay.
Judge.
For sure. Joe, you need me?
Yes.
Hey, come on up.
Your Honor, this is, he's on docket, Turquez Palomino, hyphenated.
You here?
First name Emilio.
You here?
No, Your Honor.
I had a feeling.
I was waiting since 9:30. He hasn't shown up yet. I was wondering if maybe you could set up.
So let's, oh, no. Dude picked up, he's on bond for an assault. He picked up a new assault. So Joe, I have your cell phone. Go and I'll text you or I'll call you if he comes.
Okay.
But there's no sense in waiting. It's already 11:40. But if he's not here by the end of docket,
Okay.
especially because he picked up a new assault. I mean,
I saw that.
you're still at the 5457, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll call you if he shows.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For sure.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Social matter.
Hello.
Hi, this is Zandre. She works with me.
Oh, man, I've known her for years.
I thought so. She has a son that is in the fire brigade at one of the plants and stuff. and he has watched you on YouTube and he likes your court. And
Great.
he would like to come down one day and sit and watch the
Love
court.
that. Your son?
Yes.
We'd love to have him.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Anytime he wants, he can get grab a front seat.
Mom, can you take his picture and send it to me?
No, well, I don't know about that, but we'd love to have him come and hang out with us, and then I'll take a picture with him. We can hang out and yeah.
I knew you would.
I
Of
really
course,
appreciate it.
anyone that ever wants to come, we're always happy for them. You learn and it's a great learning environment. And that's why we do this so that everybody sees it,
And he
learns,
loves that, and he always puts it, like, he shares it
Really?
with all his friends. Yes.
That's wonderful.
And he says,
Love
Mom, did
that.
you go to his court
Some
today?
friends, come to bring some friends.
Yes.
We're happy to
I
have
will.
everybody.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you,
Judge.
Judge.
Hunter, did we get her today?
I'm about to do it right now. Yeah, she's here.
She's here?
Sorry, I just had a crazy morning.
It's okay,
Yeah.
but she's here.
Yeah, I'm submitting this motion for her call,
But I'm gonna revoke the bond. I want you to know.
I'm just gonna ask for a minimum bond because she's still in on the.
I get it, but she picked up. You want me to talk to her or no?
You can. It's up to you. I mean,
Well, I guess so, because I want to let her know what's going on. Hey, Stephen, or guys, do you mind bringing up Ms. Zulanova?
that way I can make my argument.
Please, yeah. Good morning. I wanted to bring you out because there's things I would like to address with you. One of the things that I ordered you to do was not have any contact with a Ronnie Boo Slyman.
Yeah.
And I see now that you have picked up a continuous family violence felony case. You don't have to say anything. I'm just letting you know what's happening. Now, we asked you not to do several things, and you have now violated several conditions of our bond. One of those being, number one, we asked you, or we ordered you not to have any contact with this person. And allegedly, you've picked up now a felony assault against this person. You picked up a felony violation of a bond condition or protective order. And you also have picked up a felony assault against a peace officer. Because of this, I'm going to now revoke the bond here that you have here, and I'm going to raise it up. I'm not going to give you a PR bond when you continue to violate conditions. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all costs. And I'm going to tell you now, there are certain people in this life, when they consume alcohol, they become funny people. They have fun, they laugh like little rainbows, gumdrops, gummy bears, and little bunnies jumping in the woods. And there are those, when they consume alcohol, they develop horns, they develop they become the antithesis of what a person should be. And if alcohol has this kind of effect, don't use, because that may very well be the source of all these issues. I don't know, but I'm taking a stab.
Judge,
And I hope not.
But hey, Judge, just to let the court know, since she's been on bond conditions, she did voluntarily check herself into treatment for alcohol. So as the court knows, that the road to recovery is long and bumpy. She's in a difficult situation, being that she's originally from Mongolia. Is that right?
No, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. I'm sorry, Kazakhstan. She had a pretty crazy story about getting here. This guy that the court told her to stay away from, is like one of her only connections, and he's also done some inducement to get her back over there. I understand that it was ordered for her to stay away from him, but it makes it difficult when you don't really have a lot of people to rely on, and then you have someone who's trying to basically get you to hang out with them, even though they know that it's been ordered that she shouldn't. But I just want to let the court know that she is taking steps to try to better herself and her situation. It's just, she's in a difficult spot between the addiction and lack of resources.
Even if that's the case, if you know that alcohol has this effect and it brings out the worst, then don't. You already have an open case. And you know, if you have no one to rely on in this world, if you go to jail, they're not going to bond you out, then you have to think of these things when you're out there. Because sometimes, you may have but 1/10 of a second to think, oh God, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? Now, where are we?
Can I say something?
Well, it's now, anything you tell me, it's going to go in this ear and it's going to go out that ear, because I know if I let you out, you're still going to do whatever you want to do. You don't care what we say. That's the problem. And when you come here and when we talk to you initially, we try to tell you, look, this is how we expect you to act. This is what we expect you to do. And when you do, and when you show up to court, and when you talk with Hunter, good things happen. Now, I'm telling you this for the future because I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. All I know is that you have very serious cases upstairs. And in the future, going forward, whatever may happen, whether it's a probation, whether it's this, think before you act. And if the source and the root of all evil is, no matter how bad the addiction is, if you don't, it only gets worse. It never gets better. And the older you get, the more difficult life becomes. You get older, bigger, fatter, you lose hair. Life doesn't get easier. And when you get more of this, so I hope that you take the help that is offered now, because we're going to offer you help and we want the best to come out of you, right? We want the best for you, but you can't continue like this. So now, like I told Hunter, I am going to revoke your bond. I'm going to raise it up to 5,001. We'll come back in a couple weeks and see how we go forward, but I can't give you a PR bond when you pick up 3 felonies.
Judge, may I make argument for bond amount?
Sure.
She currently has bond amounts on her felonies that she can't afford. She's indigent. That's evidenced by the fact that I was appointed to her, and also given a little bit of her background, she's not only indigent, but she's has a lack of resources otherwise. I would ask the court to consider $250 bond.
Gotta love you, Hunter. Gotta love you.
Just taking
her
into
bond's at
account-
2,500 now, so that would mean lowering the bond. I'm going to set it at 5,001. We'll go forward. It looks like your felony case is set for February. You will go to felony court in February. Hopefully, you guys can wrap this up and try to get everything quick so you don't just sit there and linger.
Just ask for a speedy trial date on this case.
Absolutely. I have to give them at least 30 days for them to get all their stuff in preparation. Is it your case? Is it Conrad's? Yeah. Okay, I guess let's do this. Is he here? You want to talk to?
Not by, but I can give him a call, maybe.
No, but I want to give him a head, or if you can give him a heads up that that's where we're at. I guess let's set it for early next week. Is discovery complete in the case? Wait till at least we have some discovery first.
I think it's all complete.
I think we're still waiting on body cam. Let me see this. Yeah, it looks like this looks like body cam was re-requested.
We don't even have body cam. Let's do this. Let's set it for next week, like late next week. See if we can get the body cam. If you can get it, and then we can get also Conrad to come approach, and then we can set it at that time if you want. Yeah?
Good, Judge.
All right. We wish you the best of luck, man. Take care.
Your approach, Judge?
Yeah.
So on Mr. Brian Martinez, Your Honor, the results came back negative.
Come up, Mr. Martinez.
Alcohol and drugs, he speaks
Oh,
English and Spanish.
no, hold on. Let's wait for a translator then. I want to make sure that.
Toma asiento. I'll ask for an interpreter.
Please. All right. Come up, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 9 days in jail with credit for the 19 days that you've done. I want you to understand that this behavior is just unacceptable, you know, and I'm serious when I mean that here, we're about accountability. And if I don't hold you accountable, I'm telling you it's okay, and that you can just continue to run amok and just and railroad, and it's not. We mean business. We're here to not only protect the community, but to teach you a lesson so that you understand that it can't continue, right? I don't know what happened over there. I don't need, but when you're on bond, you can't pick up a felony case, and there are consequences, and I hope that you get it, right? The other thing that you need to get also now is that this will reflect as a conviction on your record. If you're ever in a car, I don't care where you are, I don't care what state you're in, you get pulled over and you have a smell of anything funky, they're gonna probably take you in. They see that you have a prior DWI, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck. So if I were you, I would never, ever get into a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke off of a joint, you smell anything funky, I'm telling you, you're gonna go down. And what we're doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. So like I'm saying, I'm doing this, believe it or not, to help you, because we want to see the best in you. We want the best from you. Be better, do better. You know, you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record. It will be there forever. I have to suspend your license. I am going to suspend it for 180 days. There is also a mandatory suspension, a DPS surcharge. I will waive that for you now. But I want you to understand that if you come back a second offense, you're looking at a minimum of $6,000 in fines and fees, not to mention another court cost of around $600 to $700. So you pick up another DWI, not only is a minimum 30 days, but you're looking at probably around $7,000 in fines and fees. Just one button on this phone, $30, wherever you want to go. And this don't matter where you want to go. That's what you need to do. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'll find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. You're going to walk out of here. You're not going to owe anything, but don't come back. All right. Thank you, counsel. All right, guys. Good luck. Yes, sir. Thanks. Yeah.
Need an interpreter.
Got one. Come up.
No, this has very valid explanations that I think the court will want to hear in the situation. It's a very unusual situation.
What time does court start? Mr.
8:30.
What time did you get here?
I didn't have to come today. After the 4th, I was supposed to communicate with my lawyer.
I ordered you to come here today because you have a new case. You are on bond for an assault. You now have picked up a new assault. You are now facing another year and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Complainant and the defendant dating relationship. On 11/27/24, officers were dispatched to an assault in progress in Harris County, Texas. Officer met with other officers who had already detained the defendant. The officer spoke to the complaining witness, who stated the defendant pulled her hair at the house and that she felt pain. She stated that they had been driving down Westheimer and the defendant attempted to take her purse that had a flash drive that had fraudulent scam material on it. Complaining witness said the defendant was trying to scam San Jose Gas Oil, and the information was on the USB drive. Complainant stated that they started to fight and she scraped her hand on the purse and felt pain. Complaining witness also stated no threats were made and the suspect did not put his hands on her. Defendant stated they were arguing in the car and the complaining witness slapped him twice and scratched him. Defendant stated he felt pain. The witness stated she worked security and she saw the traffic was backed up, so she drove up and saw the complaining witness and the defendant in a stopped car in the street. She said she saw the complainant and the defendant fighting. Complaining witness was trying to exit the vehicle and that's when the defendant pulled her hair. Witness stated the complainant exited and ran across the street and called 911. Officers observed blood on passenger window where complaining witness was sitting. Officers also observed complaining witness to have injuries to both hands.
Your Honor, no, the one thing I just wanted to point out was more on the dates, in that apparently he thought that the new case was set for December 5th. This document, it refers to December 5th, but down the bottom, it looks like then it was ordered that he appear at the court's next docket on Wednesday, December 4th, because the original case that we had been here for, the first case, his appearance was waived on that case. So he got confused and thought it was waived, and I think he was
ordered
supposed
him to appear because of the new case that came up. So regardless whether he comes at 8:30, he comes at 9:30, I don't think I've ever taken someone in for coming in at 11:30, for coming in at 12. But I do have a problem when you pick up a new case.
Yes, sir.
And it's alleged here that you have assaulted this person and they have now provided me with enough evidence that I'm going to find probable cause that it occurred. Joe?
Your Honor, the only thing I can say is the client has vigorous defenses. Obviously, that's not the appropriate point to point out. But I don't know, was the complaining witness out on probation at this time or because she herself was under some legal.
All I know is that
Very
is
serious.
it 2 times that he pulled her hair, or was it just 1 time? It sounded like it was
Just a one-time judge.
He was trying to prevent her from, she was gonna go out of the moving vehicle, was what his position was. He was trying to keep her from getting hurt, from going out of the moving vehicle.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Because I believe what happened is she called and reported this afterwards. They left the scene and then she called, phoned it in and reported it after.
So is she trying to jump out of a moving car and he's pulling her hair to keep her in? Well, but then the witness sees them outside of the car arguing and then he pulls her hair outside of the car.
I heard that. I did hear that,
So
Your
the
Honor.
witness saw the defendant and the complaining witness inside the vehicle fighting. The witness tried to get the complaining witness out of the motor vehicle and then the defendant
Picked up a new
pulled her back
case.
by her hair.
Are we supposed to be happy you're on bond for an assault and you pick up a new assault?
Yo no daría daño nunca a la persona que
Well,
quiero.
now is, I mean,
I would never hurt somebody that I'm with.
Por favor, me quiero que le diga a su señoría. Ella es mi novia. Ella ahora mismo está en la prisión.
She's my girlfriend. She's right now in jail. He has.
Porque ella está enviciada en la droga.
She has problems. She's
Yo quiero-
drug addicted to drugs.
Yo quiero que ella lo hospitalice.
I want her to be
Yo soy la-
hospitalized.
yo soy la-
The only reason that was relevant, Your Honor, if I could help him out, is that he did tell me beforehand to help the court and the system, is that she has been his girlfriend for many years. And that he has one child he supports along with his mother, who's here today. And he works as a driver and he does support them all. But she does have this problem with drugs and has this pending case. He himself suffers from depression and diabetes, but he does manage to work in order to support them all. If these are just things that maybe the court could consider, because it would be a real hardship for them to lose the income. Now, he would agree to any kind of additional controls in terms of staying away from her, but maybe 200 feet away or things like that. Because she's not living with them. The child is not hers. It's from a previous relationship that he supports. But they're actually two. One is 7 years old. One is 7 years old, and the other one is 3 years old. And so we're talking some very fairly young children that's in his custody. Now, his mother has been helping maintain him. She's back there on the second.
The complaining witness is currently in jail. I believe in Harris County Jail. I'm
This
trying to
complaining
figure out what
witness?
for. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to figure out for what, all I see is an out of county charge, so maybe there was a warrant.
Given a cause number?
So it shows up kind of weird. I have like an out of county cost.
That's
number,
okay,
but
just-
I don't know if it will show up.
Is it a 2? Is it a 3? What?
So it's like OOC.
No, that's,
Yeah.
huh?
See if I
Tú sabes
can
dónde está el
find it.
caso de
Yeah,
su
you
hijo,
can look
su
up, yeah.
novia? ¿Dónde está?
0326
Oh, hold on. 0326.
8412.
Said it was Austin, Your Honor.
No, it didn't pick up. 0326 8412.
Possession of substance.
No, I didn't get it.
It says that she's currently in Harris County Jail as of 11/27.
Do you have a cause or do you have a spin?
It's not, the spin number is, it's 03268412. It doesn't come up on here.
26 8412. That's the spin I have.
No, for me, it's not coming up. Let me try this. 3. No.
It looks like she was booked in November 28th, but that's everything I see.
Booked in what day?
November 28th.
Yeah, so what happened if they got arrested together?
That's all I see. So it's gonna be another.
She's got,
Sí o no?
Yes.
she's got a less than a gram case wherever.
Okay.
So she must have had an open warrant for a less than a gram case as well. Mr. Tujaquez, all I asked you to do was be safe in my community. You've now picked up a new case. I'm not going to let you go. You picked up a new assault. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter where it is. We ask you to behave yourself. And when you pick up a new case, that's not a good thing. And if I let you go, that is telling you it is okay to do what you're doing. And it's not. There has to be consequence to action so that you understand we mean business. If this person is like that, then you know, or you should know, not to associate yourself with this type of person. Do you understand?
But please, my family depends on me.
Then this is what you think of beforehand. You don't think about this after the fact.
But I didn't do anything. I wanted to help her.
I'm not going to talk to you about the case. I'm not going to know. Now, I will tell you this, that I had already revoked your bonds and I was going to set them both at 10,002, but I won't do that. I'll entertain a bond, a lower bond with you, Joe. I mean, what do you think is appropriate? I want you to understand that I'm going to take you in because I want you to understand that public safety is my number one concern. That's it. As a courtesy for your lawyer, and because of what you're saying, I will not set it as high as I was going to, and I will entertain a lower bond. But you picked up a new assault.
Your Honor, would you consider $1,500?
state, what do you think?
Judge, I'm just gonna argue for a general $5,000 bond. This individual was told obviously not to pick up any new cases and he picked up the exact same kind of case while out on bond previously.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll split the puppy, okay? And on the new case, he's at 5,000 now on the old case. I'm gonna revoke that PR bond. I'm gonna set that one at 5,001. And then on the new case, I'll do it 3,501 as opposed to 10,002 on both of them. And that is, Joe, you know, I hope that you now understand that we mean business. And no matter what the excuse, no matter who you're with, you pick up a new case, there are consequences.
Yo le prometo que usted no me va a ver más nunca. Problema, yo nada.
Promise I won't cause you any more problems. You won't see me for something like this again.
I hope you show back up to court.
Es serio, ¿no?
Espero que
Es
sí se
serio.
presente.
Stay in contact with your
Sí,
lawyer.
claro, sí, claro,
Of course, of course.
And from now on,
De ahora en adelante,
as a part of your,
como parte,
Le pido una disculpa
don't.
porque yo el día 4 no tenía mi corte.
Tú, Jaques, no habla. I want you to listen. I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. I do not want you to be in possession of any weapons. You are also not to have contact with the complaining witness in the first assault case. If you pick up a third case, I am telling you now, I will go absolutely bonkers on your bond. Do you understand? The only reason I'm making the bond as low as it is now is because of Joe. Otherwise, your bond would be at 10,002. But as a courtesy, but I will have absolutely no qualms whatsoever if you pick up a third case. Who's the complaining witness in the first case?
I think he's just an employee of a business at a car dealership.
Okay, all right, goes with you. All right, okay, Joe, we'll talk soon. So, hey, he's gonna auto-populate tomorrow. What? Oh, yeah, oh, shit.
Can you bring
Okay.
him over here?
I didn't realize it was a family member. I'm sorry, Stephen, I forgot there's a MOAP that we need to enter in. Come on back.
Are you gonna speak to him?
No, Joe, sorry, where's Luis? Sorry, Luis, I forgot to do the protective order. Let me see. Has it been entered?
It's in there.
All right, here we go. Mr. Tujakas Palomino, I'm now entering in a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Ramos Sabarit as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. If you get out of jail and if she should contact you, if she calls you, do not answer the phone. If she calls you from an unknown number and you answer the phone and it is her, hang up. If she texts you, do not reply. If she comes to your house, do not answer the door. If she gets a hold of you through social media, do not answer. You're the one. If you violate this protective order, the state can and possibly will file a violation of a protective order. You violate these conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond. zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person of this county. Do you understand? Are you sure? Okay, all right. Thank you, Stephen. Sorry.
You can sign over here. What is it, Matt?
Give me a second. Hi, Kavita.
Hi.
Tell me what you got.
I have Alice, Judge.
Who?
Alice, he was,
That's that dude?
yes, Judge. It's a probation case. And apparently he was set to expire in your court, but hadn't satisfied any of the conditions.
He hasn't done anything.
And he's also on probation in Rick Court, and they're sending him to community residential, and they extended him for 9 months. So I didn't know if you wanted to extend him or unsat
Yeah,
term.
no. I'm gonna extend him and I want a T-RAS done. Well, I'm gonna send him now for a T-RAS, and then I'm gonna put a, how long has he been gone?
Well, so he has always, so he was been on probation since 2022 in report. It looks like he went.
Come up, Mr. Morales.
He went to SATF, or he was released from SATF in March. After he was released, he tested positive for amphetamines and meth in April. And then it looks like he failed to report for May, June, September, and October. And then he hasn't completed the DWI intervention, the DWI education, or the victim impact panel.
He hasn't done anything. I'm sending you now for a drug test and you must come back on Friday and we will determine how to go forward on your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do that.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
We
you.
have one plea that we're working on as well.
Thanks. Okay, come on up.
Good morning, Judge. I'm approaching on Darwin Morales, M-O-R.
Okay. Oh, this is a new case or old case?
It's about 10 days old, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like, God.
For the holidays.
20,000 on an unlawful restraint.
That's why I wanted to approach.
Okay.
So if you're ready. So I'm approaching on this case because I've been in contact with the complaining witness. She's actually here. She's made it be known to me that she wants the charges dropped and that everything that happened was, she doesn't know why he was arrested, that he didn't do anything. She's here to confirm what I'm saying. If you have a question regarding that, she's talked to the prosecutors about this case.
I don't even know what happened. I haven't done PC. Do you mind real quick, please?
Judge, before we do all this, I know Mr. Darwin feels like he's out of the loop and doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Let's do it.
That way he can be brought in. Darwin, estamos trayendo para afuera para que tú escuches lo que está pasando en el caso y sepas todo lo que está pasando. ¿Cómo? No, más para que escuches.
¿Puedo hacer la fe?
No, ahorita vamos a hablar con el juez, nomás.
Yo lo voy a interpretar. Yo lo voy a interpretar.
Good morning, Mr.
Mira al frente.
Darwin Morales.
Good morning, Mr. Morales.
Señor Morales.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
You were charged with unlawful restraint. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. I don't know anything about your case. So we are going to do probable cause now. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance. Upon arrival, officers spoke to complaining witness, who told them that her and the defendant recently ended their relationship.
Acaban de terminar su relación recientemente.
The complainant had been at work earlier that day when the defendant showed up and grabbed her wrist and forced her to leave by pulling her into his car. Complainant told officers the defendant took her to his apartment and would not allow her to leave his room. A witness, the defendant's roommate, eventually told both the complainant and the defendant to leave. While standing outside, the complainant called her friend to pick her up when the defendant again grabbed her by the wrist and began trying to get her to go with him against her will. Complainant told defendant multiple times to let her go, and the defendant refused. Complainant then hit defendant with her phone to try to get him to let go. Complainant's friend then arrived and was able to intervene. Defendant admitted to the officers that he would not let complainant leave the apartment.
Okay. Mr. Morales, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Your lawyer is now asking for me to reduce your bond. What I see, though, is that there's an immigration detainer now. So even if I lower the bond, you are unable to get out on bond due to the immigration detainer. So there is still a possibility, but you will need to have a lawyer go work with immigration to be able to get you an immigration bond. One of my fears is that if we give you a PR bond now, or you bond out now, it's very possible that they ship you right then and there to immigration without having resolved this case, and that creates more of a headache for you. But I don't know.
Judge,
Please.
if I may, just on the issue of probable cause, we have statements from the officer, a report from the officer, a statement of a witness who doesn't say he saw what happened. He just says he told him to leave. At that point, it's a he said, she said kind of thing between my client and the complaining witness. We have the complaining witness here to actually say what happened, why he was arrested that day, I don't know. She is here saying that it was a mistake. She is here saying that he didn't do anything. That should at least put this case on alert that there's issues in this case and that he should be allowed to fight this with a great chance of fighting this because the complaining witness is here saying these things. Him being incarcerated while waiting to fight this is oppressive to him. He's got no criminal history. The allegations sound horrible, but plain witness is here to testify. She's not testifying, but to state what happened that day, and she's saying that what happened was wrong. That being the case, I would ask for a PR bond, especially when she's saying nothing happened, and he'd be allowed to get out and fight his case. Now, the issue regarding immigration is he's got no criminal history. Once he gets over there, once he can be held there until his hearing. Two, he could also possibly be let out on a bond over there. He has a hearing. He's got some status for being here. He came in and has a.
Is he a doctor or?
He doesn't have a docket. He came in, availed himself to the authorities. He's got a immigration court setting for the 25th, year 25. It's upcoming. I can pull it up, but he's got an actual hearing date in the future, to look for relief. So it's a date once he comes in. They're arguing that he has no status for being here. His court hearing is at a date in the future.
Yeah, this is going to throw a wrench into that.
Yes, but he's got a right to, I mean, this case is kind of iffy already. He found probable cause. Him being held while awaiting a resolution is not a benefit to him, especially when she's here saying it.
Judge, I know that, I mean, we all know that victims of domestic violence often recant. So it doesn't surprise me that she's here saying that. But the police recalled, the police spoke to her, and at that time, this is what she told the police. She said what happened. We don't have any evidence other than an OR, but I'm gonna oppose lowering a bond. I think it's a safety issue for her and a community safety issue.
Was there a 911 tape?
Había una llamada del 911.
Because not only do you have her statement, but you also have another you said you had a witness as
Yes,
well,
sir.
right?
So a 911 call was made. We don't have it. Trying to see if I actually did it. Who the reportee was. One second.
I certainly think that the $20,000 bond is a bit high, and I'm willing to go down on that. I'm not going to grant him appeal bond because I don't think that would, well, I don't think that with the immigration detainer now, I don't know if that's, I am going to order you now, Mr. Morales, I want you to listen. Now's not the time for that. You can do that later, but here, I want you to listen what's going on so you know what's happening. I don't want you to have contact with this person now. Understand, every phone call that you make is recorded. Every piece of mail that you take out, give in, it's looked at. So just be careful.
Judge, if I may, you're ordering no contact in this case between him and the complaint witness.
Sure.
She's here stating that.
I don't know that. They've not been able to rip her, you know. I understand.
Well, we did have a prosecutor speak to her in person today, a Spanish-speaking prosecutor, and he is, you know, she is recanting. She is saying that it did not happen. And I also will say the witness, I believe it's the roommate, is the one who called the police, and he told officers that he came outside and witnessed the defendant holding the complainant by the neck. And that's when he called the police and was able to.
But the witness saw him hold her by the neck.
Yes, that's what the witness told the officer.
So,
do you want him to still have contact with her?
I don't think contact would be appropriate in this case, Judge.
My only fear is that
can we hear from the complaint witness to see what she wants?
probable cause hearing.
It's also you're imposing conditions, bond conditions. You have the authority to hear her out and see what she wants.
I have an unlawful restraint. I've got him grabbing, holding her hostage. We've got a witness. We also have a witness that sees his hands around her throat. I understand that, you know, time heals wounds and people recant, but you know.
That's one possibility. It's also possible that this didn't happen. We're assuming that this happened because he was arrested. She's here stating different. I would just ask that you hear her out and see what she wishes.
That's what we have trials for, Ricardo. I'm not going to change my position of probable cause now, you know. My only what we're doing at this point in time, what conditions do we impose, if any?
He's already under a MOAB and a no contact.
Let me see, is he?
She's here stating she doesn't want that. That's why she came. So this is her second time being here to try to get this lifted.
What do you think, Morgan, about lifting the no contact? I mean, I'm not going to take the protective order off because it's stuff he shouldn't do anyways, right?
No,
But my
Judge,
concern is about the no contact.
No, I understand that she's here, and like I said, we spoke to her, but it's still the fact of the matter, we haven't been able to review any of the evidence. All we have is this, what she said then and what she said now.
She wants to have contact. Do you know if she wants to have contact with him?
She does. She told our prosecutor.
If she wants, then I'll allow a contact. So there is a protective order that's in place now. The only thing I'm going to take off at this time is that you cannot have contact with her. You can have contact with her, but remember, no threatening, no harassing contact. I'm just telling you now what is threatening or harassing. Doesn't matter what you think. It's what other people perceive. Listening. It's what people perceive.
Y la otra persona me robó mi pertenencia, tiene todo, no le quiere dar nada, tiene mi cama, mi televisor, todo porque es gay y no quiere que yo esté con mi esposa que viene conmigo desde
My wife
Venezuela.
that came
Venimos
from
pasando
Venezuela.
3 meses
We've
de
had
frío,
3
hambre,
months of
para que
cold,
venga otra
hunger,
persona que no nos
for somebody
conoce
else
a
to come
meterme
in
acá por algo que yo no
to
hice.
stick
Ahí
me in
está
here
mi
for something I
esposa.
didn't do. My wife is there.
La policía la revisó ese día,
The
le hizo
police
subir la
inspected her,
camisa,
they
le
made her
revisó el
lift her
cuello
shirt,
y
they
ella
checked
no
her neck.
tenía nada.
She didn't have anything.
Más despacio. So I don't know.
Yo no sé,
Pardo doesn't know. Morgan doesn't know.
¿sabe?
That's why we have
Por eso es que
evidence.
tenemos la
The evidence will point to whose side is correct. There's 911 calls. There are body cams. Those will shed light on what happened. The 911 is a great piece of evidence that will show what happened. There are voices that will show the stress of the excitement and show what happened. Likewise with
La persona que llamó
The person
fue
that
gay
called
y solo
was
quiere estar
gay
conmigo,
and
por
wants to
eso
be
me
with
tiene
me.
acá. A mí
That's
no
why
me
he
gustan los
stuck me in
hombres,
here.
me
I
gustan
don't
las
like
mujeres.
men, I like women.
how did you like women?
Es que yo soy inocente, yo
I'm
no hice
innocent.
nada.
I didn't do anything.
Ahí está mi esposa
My wife
diciendo
is
de
there
que yo no le
saying
hice
that I
nada.
didn't do anything to her.
Venimos desde
We
Venezuela.
So to understand is that the evidence will point to whose side is correct. I know you're saying one thing,
Yo sé que
but
usted
we
está
got to
diciendo-
wait to look at the evidence and then we'll go from there.
Judge, if I'm,
Pues,
well, I'll
sí,
let you go ahead and,
bueno, dijo que-
About the bond,
que le alcanza.
5? I know that it's
Sí, yo
20
sé
now,
que
20's high, you know,
20 es muy alto.
I'll defer to you, Judge.
Yo voy a decir que-
what reduce it to 5.
5,000?
Um,
He can't afford that, Judge.
Puede pagar.
He can't afford that. He's new to the country. He has a hearing set.
La audiencia
He was
está-
sharing a room with his wife at this location. He can't, that bond amount would not.
Okay.
He can't.
Well, what scares me is that, like if he bonds out and then they ship it to immigration, and then they end up either deporting him or doing something like that, we want him to be able to resolve this first before that happens, because that could be an even bigger mess in the long run. I don't want to be short-sighted, you
Yo
know?
estoy con migración y ellos
came
me
in through
dan unos
immigration and
papeles
they gave
para
me
yo estar acá. Estoy
documents for me to
seguro
be
de que
here.
ellos no me deportarán.
I'm sure they wouldn't deport me.
Judge, if I may.
Juez, si puedo-
Judge, his biggest concern right now is being incarcerated. That's on the forefront. Him getting to immigration, he will fight 100% once he gets there. Right now, his biggest concern is getting out of jail. If we look at that in this context, my case does not get better. It will not get better than what I have right now. I have a complaining witness recanting, stating that this did not happen.
I don't necessarily know. Maybe the 911 tape will show anything, which would be good for you. You never know.
I don't need to wait on the prosecution to do anything. I have what I need to go to trial just with her. How quickly can we get to trial in this case?
We don't have any evidence in
No
yet,
tenemos
like at
nada de
all.
evidencia.
Have
My
to give
client
him,
is sitting in jail while we have no
I
evidence.
gotta give him at least 30 days. And then after that, I'll set you for trial. We don't have juries now until the beginning of January anyways.
Well, here's the argument, Judge. They can have all the time they want, but my client is the person sitting in there. The resolution would be give them a PR bond so they can have all the time they want.
I'm not gonna give him a PR bond, okay?
Understood.
We'll try to resolve the case as quick as we can. I understand that you're in custody. There's certain rules that we have to follow. I have to be fair to counsel. I also have to be fair to the state.
Pero es que yo no hice nada. Ahí está mi esposa diciendo que yo no hice nada porque yo no hice nada. Yo soy inocente. Yo no hice nada. Solo quiero salir de este lugar. La estoy pasando muy mal. Yo no hice nada. Yo soy inocente. 100% inocente. Y ahí está mi esposa porque no la dejan hablar. Y que ella declare cómo sucedieron las cosas.
We'll try to get to you as quick as we can, I promise. Okay, it's gotta be at least 30 days. After that, we'll set your case for trial and we'll fast track it and get it resolved.
Luego la fianza de 5,000 me iría a migración o no.
And if I pay the $5,000 bond, I would go to
What
immigration.
I would talk to your lawyer. You can always go to immigration, ask for an immigration bond. If that happens, then we can talk here. Okay?
But you also have that issue as well, and that's a big one. You know, if you get an immigration bond and they let you out on immigration bond, come back and we can talk. It routinely happens here that people are given immigration bonds, they pay it. They have that part of the relief done. Once that happens, if it happens, come back and we can talk.
Es que yo entré con migración legal, yo me entregué a migración.
I came
Migración
in
me
through
da unos
immigration
papeles.
legally.
Quiero
and
salir de
immigration
aquí
gave me
porque
papers. I
soy
want to leave from
inocente,
here
yo no he
because
cometido
I'm
ningún
innocent.
I'm
I
going to
didn't
continue to
commit.
do this back and
No
forth.
vamos a continuar
Do
haciendo
what
esto.
needs
Ya
to
le
happen. I'll let you talk with Ricardo. We'll find you a solution. I promise. Okay? But I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse.
Understood, Judge. So the bond amount, you said
5,000.
and the
Correct.
condition on the no contact, is he allowed to speak with her? Okay. It's both on the MOAB and the no, and the bond
Ricardo,
conditions.
advise your client. He seems, you know, it worked up about it. All the phone calls are recorded. Make a phone call and you are under the stress of the excitement. People tend to say things that they shouldn't. So all I'm saying is be careful. There are eyes and ears everywhere in this place. You understand? I understand that you're upset, but there's a certain protocol and a process that we follow. It happens to every single person. Keep that in mind when you're back over there. That's it.
Quisiera resaltar que yo no estoy molesto, solo
I'd
me
like
quiero
to
ir de
mention
acá
I'm
porque
not
no
upset.
cometí ningún delito.
I just want to leave because I didn't
Y ahí
commit any
está mi
crime.
esposa que
And
quiere hablar
I
y
know
no la
this.
dejo.
My wife is here wanting to speak and they're not letting her.
All right. The last thing, Judge, he's got a right to a speedy trial. I would request a trial setting. I'm requesting a trial setting. As soon as
Okay.
possible.
So, I think probably what, end of January, you know?
Hold on, sorry.
This is on Morales, Darwin, for sure. So I'll let you guys work out whatever day that is. At least 30 days, remember. We have no juries as of the second week of December. So I need to give them at least 30 days. If you guys can work something out, I'm happy to give you whatever you guys can work out. If not, then I'll intervene at that
And
point.
the date we're talking about is an actual trial setting date. Correct. Okay, perfect.
But I mean, it's gonna be, you know, at least 30 days. I mean, they don't have anything.
Understood.
I have to be fair to both sides.
And I have to request a speedy trial.
I understand, but I have to give them time to get evidence. You know how long it takes to get a 911 tape, right?
Yes, Your Honor, since this did just happen on the 19th, we need a lot more time.
Yeah, I know, and I'm down, and I get it. And I'm never gonna do anything to hamstring you guys. Likewise, I'm never gonna do anything to hamstring you guys. But I have to be fair to them too. So, I don't know. If you guys can work out a trial date, I'm happy to do it. If not, then come back, let me know, and we'll just pick some arbitrary date.
So if the trial date would be January 28th or the first.
I don't even know if that's gonna be enough time for them. You know, I mean, no. Let's do this. Let's set it for, set it for Monday. Reach out to, at the minimum, your 911 dispatch. How long is it gonna take for you to get that? And then at least get some kind of timeline. I know that they're gonna be ranting and raving, but see how long it'll, you know, if we set it for trial, how long, you know? So let's come back Monday. Okay, and then
Judge, so the proper procedure on these kind of things is I can't acquiesce to a reset. I need to keep asking for a trial setting. And at that point, you do what you feels comfortable, but I can't agree to a reset. I'd ask for a trial setting.
see if you can agree with them.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Hey. Okay. On Brazil?
Yes, Judge.
Lauren Brazil, come up. Yeah, I got it. I just. He didn't file the second page on this.
I saw two.
You did?
All right, you were Lauren Brazil.
Yes.
Ma'am, you were charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It also looks like you are also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On that one, you're facing the same thing, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Looks like they filed a felony evading in a motor vehicle as well. Is that going to be?
That's going to be dismissed once this plea is completed, Judge.
Okay, that's a great deal. I'm going to tell you that you don't get many bites of an apple of this kind. So, you know, anytime you avoid a felony, you're winning, but it's not many times that they're going to do this, bend over backwards to let a felony go like this. Looks like they've offered you 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 2 years. As part of the probation, you will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what are the conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you have to fulfill them. They could be intensive outpatient treatment, supportive outpatient, could be inpatient treatment. I don't know. But until that point, you have to fulfill. Forfeit the weapon, no drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, an effective decision-making class, a victim impact panel, random urinalysis, 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition, and no breath test refusal. What that means is that if you're pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. I will tell you that if you violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I will put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out in orange. And the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about if you violated your probation. If you do, you're looking at an entire year in jail. Do you understand?
I understand.
Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
You also need to understand that this now makes 2 TWIs on your record. What happens on the next?
Automatic felony.
You will be facing a 3rd-degree felony. Same now, what you're on the abating. A minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get into a car because you were taking a huge risk when $30 and a button on your phone will get you to wherever you need to go. I do it every weekend. If I want to go out, this is how I do it. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You also give up the right to appeal, like I said. So that done today, done forever. How do you plead to the offense, man? I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. Are you appointed or retained on the case? There is a matter of the supervisory fee that you're going to have to pay. It's a big one. We will give you 2 years to pay it, but it's a lot of money. If you don't pay it, it's a lot of jail time. Do you understand?
I understand.
It's $6,000 plus I'll waive the court costs.
No, you don't.
So Kavita, when does she want to go in to do the time?
I'm going this weekend, Judge, to do the 3 days.
Okay. So to turn in 12/6 by 6 p.m. You have any questions, ma'am?
Even though I am even though I am retained on this case, Ms. Brazil does live on her own. She has no dependents, but she's an elementary school teacher, so she does have. I didn't know if there was a way we can address the financial situation to waive some of those fees.
Tell me about the evading in the motor vehicle. Was she? And when was the first DWI also?
So the officers, the stop was because she was driving 90 and 60. They attempted to stop her. She began to evade. Officers observed heavy traffic and used a pit maneuver to attempt to stop her from causing an accident. Officer attempted pit 3 times and was successful in the 3rd attempt. The distance of the pursuit was 4 miles. And her last DWI was in 2018 out of Montgomery County, and she received a 1-year probation.
And what other criminal history? Anything else?
I believe that's it, Judge.
What do you think?
I'm not gonna be opposed to waiving fines and fees.
Why would we reward you with all this though? You know, you're evading in a car. They have to try to tackle you in a car 3 different times. You know, why not stop?
Yes,
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you possibly think that you're going to get away? You know, I don't think I've ever, other than someone driving one of those souped up, like, what are those, Stephen, what are those cars that those Dodge, those really souped up? No, but they're like those SUVs that can climb up nearly a vertical wall because they're so damn powerful. But really, do you think that you're possibly going to get away?
I don't think this was, she didn't realize the cops were behind her. And there was a lot of mitigating factors that we presented to the state. That's why they're dismissing the evading case. So it's not one of those types of situations. She was just running from the cops, trying to get away. She really was trying to move out of the way and didn't realize that they were behind her.
I don't know which kind of conversation you've had with the prosecutor in the felony
No,
court.
at some point, you have to get it. You've got a DWI from 18, you've not got one. And how many lives do you put in danger by evading like that? Imagine if you would have hit and killed someone. There was a lady here, there was a nurse here in Houston, goes up to LA, and it's on the news. You can watch it, where she's got this Mercedes, and it's a banging Mercedes, like it's a white, she blows through a stop sign at like 95 miles an hour. And you can watch it on the news. She plows into traffic, and it's a huge fireball, kills 6 people, gets charged with 6 counts of murder, or it was 5 counts of murder, 5 or 6 counts of aggravated assault. You know, how many lives ruined because of that one boneheaded movement? You know, I don't know, Kavita, what? Give me a good reason. Tell me something nice.
Judge, and her finances are limited.
Can you tell me that I take care of my mother?
Do you really teach in elementary school?
She
You
does.
teach our kids?
And she's taking care of her mother who's moved in with her, so she's got a lot of financial burdens on her. She did retain us, but we're putting her on a payment plan with a reduced cost because it's a referral from a family friend of Mr. Sliders, or a work friend of Mr. Sliders.
If I have to reduce my fees, you got to do too.
I did, Judge, I promise you.
I'm happy that you're a teacher, but kids look up to you, you know, is this right? You know, kids, you know, a kid looks up to you for love, compassion, patience, to teach them the right thing to do. And this isn't it. Do better. Be better. All right, Kavita.
And Judge, this is just a sample of 1 of 2 pages of her recent AA meetings. She's been going to AA meetings since the spring of this year, and she's done all of her classes already. She's done a lot, and she's been going to counseling.
That's
as
great.
well.
You know, and I routinely preach this, that there are 2 types of people in this world that drink. There are those that drink and they become happy, merry, joyous. They're cracking jokes. They like to be the life of the party. And there are those that turn into complete animals. If that's you, just don't drink. Find something else to do in life. But if you're gonna drink, be happy, be nice, be that jovial person. All right? All right. Yeah. All right. Good luck, man. All right. Oh, yeah, I have to I'm gonna suspend your license for a year. I have to. It's a second offense. Yeah. Do well, show us that you're doing well. Don't have any positives, and we can talk about granting you an occupational license. But the law, it's a second DWI. I have to suspend your license. I'll do it. Typically, most do it for 2 years. I'll do it for a year. Show me that you're doing well, and we can talk about an occupational license, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll circle back on the occupational license later. Thank you.
Mr. Garris.
Yes, Judge.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
As much progress as I slow down, I understand. So but approaching just kind of briefly on the Brandon Lane case, the state, it's a relatively new charge. We discussed it very briefly.
Picked up another theft,
Well,
right?
and you and I discussed it very briefly yesterday. I'm not gonna, at this moment, ask the state necessarily for an offer, but we are gonna do a TRAS.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I've talked with probation department. They think they can have it scheduled by the end of the week.
Great.
Because the cases are pending and we don't have an agreement, what I'm gonna ask is maybe probation can make a notation not to go into the circumstances of these offenses, but look just kind of generally.
I'm okay. Of course. My concern more so is why?
Yes.
How do we go forward so it stops happening? I know that you're on the street. Why? Why would you rather choose to be on the street than in a home?
And what's been conveyed to me is I'd like to get access to resources and help and things like that. And so
Shatori is great. We have all kinds of stuff.
They've been wonderful to me. And
Yeah.
we chatted about this earlier, and and so I'll do that with the court's permission, and I think maybe set it early
Absolutely.
next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll expedite it. We'll get it done as quick as possible.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garris. But guys, go. You're good. Thanks.
Thank you,
Great
Judge.
today, really. Someone's badge is there. Whose badge is that?
That's Kelsey. Oh, yeah, we're good. This is Kelsey. Her stuff's still good.
She's outside.
Yeah.
She's still here?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to leave and her stuff is, she's coming back, right?
She is. She's on a witness room speaking to a complainant right now.
Oh, got it. Okay. Guys, it was wonderful having you. Thank you for joining us. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow. All right, bye, guys. Hasta mañana.
Well, guys, that's all she wrote. There's no more show. Calling it quits for the night, but not for good. We'll be back again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll keep this train rolling for our good friend Dreams, who will be greatly missed in the days to come. Weird days ahead, ladies and gentlemen, weird days ahead. But days they will be, and days we will conquer. We'll take them one day at a time, right? One day at a time. Look, I want to shout out all these people who gave these amazing super chats. Thank you so much for the contribution here. Sparkle Poops, Otto, Mimi, Cheshire Cat, Lori, Omni, Otto, Vicky, Eileen, all of you are just amazing. And even if you didn't leave a super chat, don't take me wrong. Everybody here who's lurking and chatting, hanging out and offering support, you're all amazing. I couldn't be a luckier wolf, not if I asked. I got my mom here. I got all my friends here. I had a great friend like Dreams, and that makes me one of the luckiest people in the world. So thank you, Dreams, for being an amazing part of my life over the last year. Yeah, Mom's here. Karen Brazier that you keep talking to is Mom. Mom. That's Mom. actual mom. But all that aside, I'm sure Dad might be hanging out. Dad's probably lurking. Dad's not chatting. He might be lurking somewhere if he's not watching Netflix. Who knows? But my love to all of you. Know you are all appreciated. And I couldn't do any of this without all of your support. So, we are all better for knowing dreams as long as we knew dreams. So, thank you for all of you who through the last year have shared time with Dreams and myself in this weird little place we call the Court Gallery. And I will see you all again tomorrow night, 9 p.m., where we'll have another Fleischer Forum. And we'll do it like we do it, you know? We'll do it live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm your Lone Wolf Usul. I'm your host. I'm your curator for these videos at the Court Gallery. And I'm very much the man who appreciates all of you every day. I love you so much. Have a good night. These are all for you, Dreams. All of them.